Hola, bom dia. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show with expatsportugal.com, of course. How are you this morning? It's one of those Mondays. I've overdone it this weekend. I have a beautiful lineup of various drinks, not alcoholic drinks, I hasten to add, but Mrs. Emma's prepared me some poorly drinks. I think I've definitely overdone it. I've only got myself to blame, but I'm interested in your weekend as well. For me, it was a really great social day on Saturday and a day on the homestead yesterday. But really, it's like I'm thinking, I'm glad it's the week again because I can get a rest now. But I had a super day on Saturday with my Oppo from the Expat Man Cave, Frank, and his lovely wife, Rachel. They came up to my part of Portugal, the Bairrada region, which I think, I'm going to say this now, the heart of Portugal. And it was my delight to give them a little tour of this wine-producing area, but it's so historically significant as well. I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later on. Keen to hear about your weekend as well. And then yesterday, loads of work on the homestead. Overdid it, creating a nice little enclosure for the dogs. Dogs live outside in Portugal. I know for a lot of you expat softies, you keep your dogs indoors like you've always done. But little Peggy and Jimmy Choo, I think, quite like being outside. And that's their sort of ancestry, I think, are outdoor dwelling dogs. They seem quite happy out there. And I've built them a 5-star enclosure, and I was just putting some final touches on the infrastructure of that yesterday, making sure they've got a choice of 3 hot meals a day and a daily newspaper and concierge service and all that sort of thing. So if you were working hard, I know some people were. I know that Gary and brother Terence were painting the outside of their house in Alvaza. I know that's very specific, but you should have seen the ladder setup. Honestly, we showcased that on the Expat Man Cave on Friday night. For a show for men of a certain age, making sense of their new lives in Portugal. Join us for that if you fit that description. Segunda-feira, dia 19 de outubro. It's Monday, of course, the 19th of October. I think we're right, aren't we, with the clocks? Did the clocks go back? I don't know what's happening now. And then, are we a different time to UK? I don't think so. I think everybody's still 9, right? I don't even know if the clocks went back or not. Let me know. And people thought I was pranking on Sunday morning. What time is it? And, things adjust. And then do you trust the thing that's adjusted automatically? I hope it's 9 o'clock this morning. No one said otherwise. Gemini, Bradshaw, good morning to you. And lovely to hear from you. Here he is, the man in question who I was talking about. And I will show you some wonderful pictures of Quinta do Encontro and Campo Largo, the places that we visited and saw on Saturday. You and me, Frank. It was amazing, wasn't it? And Rachel, of course. Hope the rest of your weekend was as much fun as I had with you on Saturday. Look, it's Paul here, everybody. Hola, bon dia from Cabanas de Tavera. Let me try that again. Cabanas de Tavera, where we are battling down the hatches. It's great to be back after a fairly long trip down. Yeah. Well done, Paul. Safely ensconced, is that the right word, in Portugal now? And of course, you're right. Depression Barbara is on her way. I will be doing a week-long weather forecast, and I need to tell you about Barbara, who's on her way. Unfortunate for anyone called Barbara, I think, at the moment. Bon dia to you, and I'm glad to hear you're safe and well, Paul, anyway, and taking it a bit easier after a long trip down. You must feel like very accomplished after that epic journey. Bon dia from Anna. How are you, Anna? Lovely. Tudo bem? Great to hear from you. And as you're here, Anna, would you like to challenge everybody a little bit and supply us with a Palavra do dia? I think that's everybody's a prerogative or I was going to call it an honor. It's not that much of an honor, but if you've come across an interesting Portuguese word over the weekend and you think we should know about it, please tell me in the comments and we can make that our Palavra do dia as we endeavor to extend our vocabulary. Thank you, Gemini, for solving the mystery of time. Like Stephen Hawking's. It is still 9 o'clock on the space-time continuum, I believe, for both Portugal and UK. Thanks for that, Gemini. Gary Austin, happy to report that phase 1 is complete. You see, I was talking about Gary and Terence, and you know those memes that show you like why women live longer than men and some of the crazy things men get up to. These guys with their ladder setup. I'm sure it was very safe. It just looked kind of crazy from the photograph that I saw. Good morning, Carl, says Gary. Good morning to you, Gary, and to Terence. We're happy to report that phase 1 is complete and the north face of the Eiger has been painted without loss of life. Well, that's great. That's very reassuring to hear. Well done, Gary and Terence. Yes, time is same as Portugal. Marvelous. Okay. Maybe I'm being a bit too over concerned about the time this morning. Good morning from Sesimbra. What a beautiful part of the world. Hello, Marina. Good to hear from you. I love Sesimbra. I really do. That's the Arabada National Park there, isn't it? Where a scene of James Bond was once filmed. Lovely part of the world in Chetabal. Yes, it's 9. Thanks, everybody. From Anita. Is it just me? Just changing next weekend, I guess, if COVID is not changing that too. Oh, I see. It's next weekend. Is it the fallback? I don't know why I had that in my mind then. But yes, do you think COVID might have the power to change the time as well? I think things are gathering, aren't they, in Portugal for further measures. I looked at the news, about what to share with you this morning. It's thoroughly depressing. The general news picture can often be that way on a Monday, can't it? I don't think that's Portugal specific, by the way. We were saying this on Friday night on our show that, of all the places to be, Portugal is a great place to be, in relatively speaking, around the world, with so much craziness and so many, challenges to human life. So still a great place to be, folks, but not, without some new measures, I think, heading our way. I predict another lockdown or something along those lines, I think, the way things are shaping up here in Portugal, sadly. But let's see. And I'm going to share with you views of Campo Largo and Quinta do Encontro, the wine producers, because that's what I discovered on Saturday. And I'd much rather share that with you than talk about all the depressing news that's available at the moment. I'm sure Graça would approve of that sentiment as well. Olá a todos, muito bom dia. Very good day to you all from Graça. That's a lovely phrase. Remember that, everybody. Muito bom dia. Muito. Bom dia da Grécia. I'm thinking that's a hello from Greece this morning. Very random, but yes, whilst I was doing my DIY stuff, in the long grass, I found a Teach Yourself Greek. It was in Portuguese, but I could make out that it was Teach Yourself Greek, like a CD-ROM. And it's funny what you find in the long grass, isn't it? Olga, good morning to you. How do we say hello in Greece? How do we say good morning in Greek? I know when people answer the phone in Greek, they go, ne. Is that right? Because I used to do a lot of calling around the world for a job I had. And it always surprised me, and I was a little bit amused by it, that people would answer the phone in Greece with a ne, rather than estu, which we do here. Some of us do anyway, here in Portugal. Frank, great time this weekend. Heart of Portugal indeed. Frank agrees. Of course, central Portugal would be seen as the heart of Portugal, but the historical, cultural, winemaking vibe of the Bairrada region, which was my pleasure to share with you, and I'll be doing a bit more of that towards the end of the show, does, I think, qualify this part of Portugal. Not widely known. I mean, some wine aficionados will know this area and the Barga grape of the Bairrada region, but it's not just about the wine. Obviously with Portugal, it's about the food as well, and the culture and the people. And just the general vibe. I love this place more and more. And that's what happened when I was showing Frank and Rachel around. And it's my sort of honor to show them around. I was thinking to myself, wow, I'm really lucky to live here and to be able to show them this. When you have to put a tour together, we don't have to, but I mean, I wanted to show them my part of the country here. And as I was doing, I was like, I'm really delighted to live here. I love it. So I'm glad you had a great time, Frank. And I think you went off to another part of central Portugal, didn't you, yesterday, and finished with beautiful, you shared a wonderful picture on Facebook last night of rooftop drinks from a rooftop bar in Coimbra last night. And isn't it lovely that here we are in way past the middle of October, and you can still take a drink up on the roof in the weather that Portugal affords us at this time of year. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, the hour changes next weekend. So is that all of Europe? Bon dia. Hour changes next week. You think, wouldn't you? A man of my age would know this by now, but it's just something I struggle to compute. It's one of those funny things. Welcome home, Paul Williams. Isn't that lovely from Gary? And Will Thompson. Aha, ha. Is that an Alan Partridge reference at my expense there, Will? It's Monday again. Aha! Elsa, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Elsa. Lovely to hear from you. And from California, I love it. The reach of the Good Morning Portugal show, and all you lovely people who bother to take an interest in what we do here and then shout out from your various parts of the world. Absolutely lovely. Bon dia de California. I got an interview for our visa on the 29th. Well done, Thane. Minha esposa e hoje estamos animados. And you've lost me there, but I'm going to just say good luck with boa sorte for you and your endeavors with the visa there and your interview in 10 days' time. I'm sure it'll go swimmingly. And Anna says, I choose Esperança, hope. Very good. Yes, for a Monday morning, Esperança. Let's go with that. I don't know if you've already talked about that, but we all need Esperança to face this year. We absolutely do. So thank you, Esperança. It is today, folks. That's really wonderful, and I can actually update that now in front of your very eyes on the screen. Only problem being, of course, no, that was the other one, wasn't it? The Ovish Molish from last week. I don't know if you saw that. We were talking about how nuns got their clothes stiff. So Esperan. I can't do the little cedilla with the keyboard I've got. That's something that needs to change, isn't it? But Palavra do dia today, Esperança. Let me just put the finishing touches on that. And there we go. With a scroll across the bottom. No, there we go. That's the right one. Esperança. Thank you very much, Anna. Superb. Bon dia, Carl, from a grey Cotswolds this morning in the UK from Jeff. Hiya, Jeff. How you doing? Good morning, everyone from Mag. Hi, Mag. Lovely to have your company. Had a guest staying, so went to Alcobaça and Peniche yesterday with lunch in Torres Vedras, looking at the old church and castle yesterday. This is exactly what we need to hear about. What were you up to at the weekend? And that's a really nice report there, Mag. Alcobaça, beautiful town to go to. Peniche. You're really making the best of the Silver Coast there, aren't you? So many things to see and do on the Silver Coast. That's a pretty good pick. Alcobaça, the wonderful monastery cathedral there. It is more of a monastery than cathedral, isn't it? Lovely town for a little mosey about. And then Peniche, of course, the incredible place of the good surf. Incredible surfing there, I believe, for in terms of global reputation. But a lovely place to have a little wander about in Peniche. And I don't know Torres Vedras, but look, it has an old church and a castle as well. Wonderful. My reference as well to still chuckling from the last time I saw you all doing that laughing exercise. I promise I joined in at home. Well done, Will. Good man. Yeah, it was hilarious on Friday when we had the two ladies. We were talking about aromatherapy and laughter yoga as the basic subjects, but we had a wide-ranging conversation which ended in some actual laughter yoga on the screen. Check it out on the replay. It was really good fun. Let me come back to your comments. And well done, Will. I'm pretty sure you would be trying that at home. It's something safe to try at home. Probably not if you're driving or operating heavy machinery, of course. But let me now just share with you. I'll come back to your comments because thank you. I really do appreciate them. We'll come back after we've had a look at the weather, which we've not done yet. So let me just do that. And we're looking on the screen at weather pages. So you can have a little look for yourself. I'll put a black background on that to make it a little easier. Lisbon, 17 degrees at the moment, mostly cloudy. And look, rain. This is Barbara. Barbara's upon us, folks. 5 days straight rain forecast for the capital. Temperatures ranging from 21 down to 19 in Lisbon. And it will brighten up at the weekend. And there it is in Fahrenheit for you. I'm making all of this bilingual slowly but surely. Porto, oh my goodness, 7 days straight rain in Porto. I just made the animal enclosure outside, and Barbara's coming in. Those dogs are not going to forgive me. I'll have to bring him back in again. Coimbra, 16 degrees at the moment, mostly cloudy. 5 days of rain forecast. And Faro, this is one of those weeks, guys, where we can't really boast about the weather in Portugal, I'm afraid to say. But I think this is probably battering a lot of Western Europe. 19 degrees in Faro, mostly cloudy. And even in Faro, 5 days of rain there. And don't forget, it's my pleasure to share with you, look at all these places where if you go to our weather pages, you can check out the weather of all 20 autonomous regions. I've grouped them in what I think are in terms of popularity, right down to the Azores and Madeira as well. Sorry to call Bragança, Guarda and Porto Alegre, for example, the C list, but I hope you get what I mean by that. Okay, so let's get more specific about Barbara then. What's heading our way weather-wise? And we do need that Palavra do dia with this, I think, Esperança. Let me share this on the screen with you from the Portugal resident. Depression Barbara on her way to batter Portugal. Another one of those words that you only often hear in the papers. I mean, if you hear batter in a different context, it's still with food, isn't it? But it's one of these words they use in the papers to drive the point home. Depression Barbara is on her way to batter Portugal. From Natasha Don, published yesterday in the Portugal resident, heavy rain and a lot of wind are on their way, thanks to a depression named Barbara. Barbara with a little accent on the A. Barbara is expected to hit the mainland from tomorrow afternoon, really getting going by Tuesday. That said, it looks from reports that it'll all be over by Wednesday. Oh, that's not so bad then. But rain looks like rain is persisting from the forecast I just gave you. For a south that is praying for rain, the bad weather cannot come quickly enough. Okay, yeah. Issuing a yellow alert for the whole country, Meteorological Institute, IPMA, warns of an increase in maritime agitation. What a lovely turn of phrase, especially along the coast of the southern region from Monday afternoon until the end of Tuesday. Waves in the southwest could reach 3.5 meters, so it could be pretty pretty tasty at Peniche there, aforementioned Peniche. All 18 mainland districts can expect heavy and persistent rain, as well as high winds that could reach speeds of between 100 kms and 130 kilometers in the hill mountain regions. Wow, that's fierce. So temperatures too are due to fall, particularly on Tuesday. Get your woolies on. It's time for layers, guys. Likely to vary from 15 degrees to 23 degrees, just as we approach what may be the last time the country... Oh, okay. The last time the country puts its clocks back for winter. So I don't even know why I thought it was that weekend. It's one of those... it's a rumor. It was a rumor that then got perpetuated in my own mind. And that happens a lot. Back to your comments here, then, before we look at a couple of beautiful wine-producing organizations of the Bairrada. Me and Frank decided at the weekend that we would put some tours on. It's got to be done. We went for a drink at and I did a live broadcast from the Korea Palace once. I don't know if you've been around long enough to remember that. Should have done it in black and white. The Roaring Twenties episode, I think it was called. And that was at the Korea Palace Hotel in Korea, the little town where I used to live before I moved to Anadia here. And I took Frank and Rachel to the Korea Palace. Unfortunately, you can't have a drink. You can't have a little sort of nightcap because they can't serve a booze after 8 o'clock. But it was fine. We had a coffee and we sat in the lounge and we luxuriated in the splendor that is the 1920s decor, the Belle Epoque decor of the Korea Palace Hotel. And we sat there hatching plans of how we're going to take people around for wine tastings, maybe stay in that hotel as well, because it's absolutely amazing. Ripe for a murder mystery, because I was saying to Frank, he could put in a fairly respectable Poirot impersonation. I did my Poirot impersonation, which he said sounded more like, not Ali G, but Borat. Yeah, my Poirot turned into a Borat. But you get the gist. We're going to have some good times. We're going to invite you up here to the Bairrada region, and we're going to stay in beautiful places, look at beautiful places, and try wonderful wine. Nuno, good morning to you. Bon dia, Carl. Weekend was good, but always short. Yes. There you go again. We're talking about the nature of time, aren't we? Weekend days, obviously, a lot shorter, maybe about 18 or 20 hours on a weekend day compared to the 24 of a week, or the 26, 28 hours of a weekday. Northampton was chilly yesterday, but no wind. Wish we could be in Portugal and enjoy the sun you guys had in the weekend. And I'm always reluctant to say how brilliant it is here for you wonderful Portuguese folks who've gone abroad and bringing about saudade when I'm doing this. Forgive me, Nuno, for telling you how great your country is. I guess in some way it is good to it's good to hear that as well. And as you long for your return, presumably, Olga in Greece, Kalimera, I guess, is have a good day. Kalimera. So Kalimera to you, Olga. We're learning a lot this morning. Bon dia de Inglaterra. Thank you for that, Olga. Bon dia de Inglaterra from Ana Lucia. Good morning to you. Very interestingly, talking about the gender issue of whether men push prams. I saw at the weekend that, Anna Lucia, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you were around the world, it's different, isn't it? And you were saying in England, you were quite delighted by the sound of it to see men pushing prams. Me, I'm a sling man. As they get bigger, obviously, you want to put them in the pram, which can be a very handy strategic device, particularly when you're eating out, right? But and for all the stowage underneath the pram. But when they're little, I love putting them in a sling. Peter, good morning to you, Pete. Morning from a grey Castanera de Pera. Enjoyed the last of the summer sun at our social club this weekend, along with food cooked in the bonfire ashes. Oh, sounds beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Night is seen, I think. We're having a Greek lesson still. So, ne. Oh, night. I see. Ne. When you answer the phone is yes. Oh, I said so Greek people answer the phone with a yes. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yes. Ne. So that's great. Thank you, Olga, for the Greek lesson this morning. Wasn't expecting that. Cool and overcast in North Wales today, says Elsa. Yesterday was sunny and hot. Took advantage and went for a nick hack in Apollo. I'm thinking that might be a quick hack on Apollo. Is that Apollo pictured in your profile pic there? So you went for a quick hack, or a Nick hack might be an equestrian term. Back to work tomorrow after a week's holiday. Good for you. Also, that sounds good. Hello from Hampshire in the UK, from Deborah Davies. Good morning to you, Deborah. Lovely to hear from you. Bon dias, everyone from Penny. Good morning, Penny, in Devon. Here in Belgium, restaurants and cafes are completely closed and curfew from 12 till 5. So, I see. I mean, yeah, that's for a lot of people, that sounds like quite respectable that things would be closed from midnight till 5 in the morning. But I'm guessing that is, midnight till 5 in the morning. But a curfew. Oh, I see. Okay, a curfew for the people as well from 12 till 5. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Wow. These are incredible times, aren't they, folks? I think we need each other. And as I was saying before, with all of this, we have in some ways normalized it, haven't we? And in other ways, we just don't know really what's going to happen, and we're looking to governments to see how they might respond to this in a way that. What a difficult job at the moment. Who would want to be in government right now? And it's like they can't put a foot right in many ways, and I can understand that as well. But I can also have some sympathy, have a mixed mind about this. But as I said from the beginning, this to me is part of a massive change for us all, isn't it? It's not as if our system and our economies were that awesome before, and it's like the COVID has just kind of pushed a turbo button on how we might arrange our society a little more effectively and look after each other a little better. And that's what I see occurring. And that's why it's so nice to be part of a community of people in the morning here, where we have a common interest and a common country of interest, and that we can talk to each other human to human, where beyond some of the polarity that we seem to be getting around the media and people falling out. And these are difficult times. I'm not going to sugarcoat the pill. These are really challenging and difficult times, aren't they? It'd be silly for me to ignore that fact. But at the same time, let's be thinking about how we can restructure things better, how we can look after each other better, how we can be kind and nice to each other. And I think we're setting a great example here on the Good Morning Portugal live stream show in our community. I'm really, really proud of you all. In how we're facing this and our attitude, collective attitude towards this. I think it's quite sort of practical and pragmatic on one level. A little bit of idealism in there as well, and positivity, and of course, Palavra do dia, a little bit of hope too. So let's stick together. Let's keep being kind and nice to each other. I think this is the way forward. Good morning from Mag. Oh, we've done that one, haven't we? I beg your pardon. That's the Alcobaster and Peniche visit, and Will Thompson. Oh, that's where I got to before. So bon dia to all from a chilly Wiesbaden, Germany. It occurs to me that I might, with messages coming in from both the Good Morning Portugal and expatsportugal.com pages, some things do slip through, and I forgive me if I do overlook your message, because you know how delighted I am to receive them. Chilly Wiesbaden, Jim McDonald's over there. Good morning to you, Jim. And Thane says, yeah, my wife and I are very excited. This is about the upcoming visa interview. Should be great. And Will still chuckling there in his part of Portugal near Obidos. Carl, you need to change to a Portuguese PC so you have the cedilla. You're absolutely right. And Jani is saying, ne, is Greek is yes. So we've learned Portuguese and Greek this morning. Torres Vedras. Okay, I do know Torres Vedras, not Torres Vestas. This is the problem in the autocorrect and keyboards and so on. So Torres Vedras have been there. Nice little town too. Yes, used to windsurf there. Amazing beaches, but very calm this weekend. So Peniche was calm. Great weather, really. Yeah, it was a lovely weekend. Just standing by for Barbara now, aren't we? I like Peniche. My home is in Fuseta in the Algarve, says Gemini. Yeah, hear great things about Fuseta. And the weather is probably our doing. We have brought the rain back from Leicester. Well, thank you very much, Ty and Joe, for that. Morning from chilly Silver Coast. Very windy here this morning. Have put anything away that Barbara might decide to put into flight. So bring her on. I'm prepared, says Valerie of Spencer Becks. Had a nice weekend. Lovely dinner out with friends on Saturday at my favourite restaurant. Ready for work this morning, which is just as well as lots to do. Have a great day, Valerie. And we forgive you, Ty and Joe, for bringing that UK weather back with you. Morning from Dominique. Hiya, Dominique. Good to see you. Fish and chip shops, very dangerous places because the chips get salted and the fish is battered. Boom, boom. Dad jokes, a speciality from Garvo in Alvazra there. The old ones are the oldest. Good morning from Evra, from Anna. Good morning. So I think you got a pretty wide arc on your tour there, haven't you? It would appear, Anna, expert of Alentejo, as I discovered recently. I hope you're having a great day in Evora. And bon dia, my dear, from Sean. Hola, beautifuls from Owen. Lovely to hear from you, Owen, as ever. And I appreciate you having this broadcast as Gemini. Well, thank you very much, Gemini. It's my pleasure to do it. And as I said earlier on, really wasn't feeling that great this morning. I overdid it at the weekend, decided to push through. And it's only with these wonderful, this range of complementary, I'll call it integrated medicine, that Mrs. M has prepared for me this morning. Selenium, she's got vitamin D, vitamin C. I've got a Honeger lined up. I've had, what did she call this other thing that's got 16 minerals in it or something? She's looking after me wonderfully this morning. You can only hold a funeral party of 40 people in Belgium because you cannot postpone dying, says our new health minister. This is where the politicians are like rabbits in the headlights, right? And they do come out with some howlers like that. Yeah, what a terrible time to be a politician. I'm not making excuses for them, but you can see it, can't you? Can you imagine? It's bad enough being a politician at any time, isn't it? As the projection screen for people's frustrations. In these times, much, much worse. And they do come out with some silly stuff like that. So, yeah. Ridiculous. We had beautiful weather here in Devon over the weekend, says Penny. Glad to hear it, Penny. Hi, no expert at all. Withdrawing from my comment there, exploring as much areas as possible to find our future home. We'll go on to the Algarve soon. Wonderful, Anna. Arrived in Portugal myself 3 years ago this time of year. And it was a lovely time. You know, when you arrive in Portugal in September, October, and the weather has been, it won't be for this week, but it has been as good as it was in the last few days. You think, wow, yes, this is the place for me. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so as we conclude then, feast your eyes, folks. And for you guys on the podcast, I will do my best to paint pictures with my words. Let's have a look first at Quinta do Encontro. Is the one I want to show you first. I've discovered as I was showing this, I hope you can see that on the screen now. As I was showing this to Frank, look at that. What a beautiful place. As I was driving to this place, I've got a hire car at the moment. That's how I tend to roll. I don't have a car very often or all the time. And actually, my guest tonight, let me just tell you, whilst we're talking about cars and you're feasting your eyes on that beautiful architecture of Quinta do Encontro on the screen there, my guest tonight is Julian Sorensen, who has a group, an endeavor, a project to enjoy Lisbon without a car. So I'm talking to him at 10 tonight, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun, making the most of public transport in Portugal, specifically in Lisbon. So looking forward to talking to Julian tonight at 10 o'clock this evening. But yeah, I don't always have a car. I've got a hire car at the moment. And I discovered how close this wonderful place is. Where are we? Quinta do Encontro. And we got out of the car, went inside, and at the moment, I think the tastings are a little bit compromised because of the COVID, but you can still eat in this wonderful place. A restaurant, an event space, a unique. Oh, I've taken it off the screen now, isn't it? Oh, isn't that annoying? Oh, a unique and modern winery in the heart of Bairrada. So let's click on the wine tourism thing because that's the bit we're interested in. And it's all in Portuguese. Oh, no, it's not. It's being translated simultaneously. What an age we live in. Quinta do Encontro was born from the dream and passion for wines, creating a vision of the exterior and interior shapes and lines of the structural design of a barrel. So there you go. This beautiful edifice it has this positioning, which gives it a commanding view of the Estrelas, Bassaco Palace in the distance. Wonderful mixture of both vineyards and power lines. They've got these great pylons striding across the countryside over the vineyards and ancient Bassaco in the distance, the Estrella mountain range. So you've got this 360-degree view from this building that's largely a timber construction that looks like a great big barrel, but not in a sort of stocky kind of opaque barrel way. They've done it so it's like a trellised. You guys who can see the pictures will see what I'm talking about here. But for you on the podcast, it's like a trellised screen effect around the whole building, And there you are in this, I don't know, how high is it? 100 feet high. And you're there dining and looking out across this wonderful vista. So yes, it's based. That's what they've done. That wasn't obvious to me. I just drove past it once or twice in this last year and thought, wow, what is that? And I discover it is the Quinta do Encontro winery. Conceptual harmony between wine production and modern architecture. And they've definitely nailed it there. Upon discovering the building, you can freely, almost with your eyes closed, go through our science and art of producing excellent wines without barriers and have a unique sensory experience in a design cellar. We organize visits and wine tastings which stimulate your senses, from the characteristic aromas of wine production to the taste of unprecedented flavors of an exuberant cuisine. Folks, let me know if you want to join me and Frank for a mosey around such places one weekend in the Bairrada. We could do a week-long tour, I tell you, of this lovely region. And not just, from the point of view of wine, but just history, culture, learn a bit of Portuguese, hang out with some people who share your love of Portugal and that part of their adventure and discovery of this incredible country, and this incredible part of this incredible country. So give us a shout if you want to get on the, I suppose it's a waiting list in a way, of the tours that Frank and I are plotting for your delight and enjoyment up here in this part of Portugal. So let me I'll stop that one for a moment. That will be a lovely place to eat. That should certainly be on our tour. Another place we want to go, and this is somewhere else you can see from Quinta do Encontro. What does Encontro mean, I wonder? Anna, please tell me. Encontro. This is already translated, which you'll see from the, it's not worked yet. Let me just bring that up so you can see it. Campo Largo translates as large field, just not as romantic, is it? Wines of the large field. Campo Largo sounds so much more exciting than large field, but there you go. It's being translated on the screen so you can see what's being talked about. This is what we could see, and you can see, the pylons and the they don't entirely blight the landscape. It's quite a poetic mix of nature and man's imposition on the landscape, quite extraordinary. And wind turbines as well on the hills. And so you can see the range in the background there, and you can see this incredible building that is the Campo Largo production facility. But of course, they do wine tourism as well. They are 2006 Producer of the Year. They have a champion from the IWC 2014 of a white Campo Largo wine. Producer of the Year 2005. I'm ashamed to say I've not heard of them before. I've seen this building on the landscape. You can't forget it, having seen it. But there they are, Campo Largo. Let's click on wine tourism. Look how beautiful this is. Let me just have a quick sip of my wonderful drink here that Mrs. Emma's made me, the Paulie drink. Hold on just a moment. Right. Oh, Honeygger. Very nice. What is that? That's apple cider vinegar and a bit of honey and hot water. Delicious. Feels like it's doing me some good this morning. Now, the gallery is supposed to be loading up. Casa de Mogafores is located in an area of special beauty in perfect conjunction with the rural landscape. Casa de Mogafores, this part of Portugal, Mogafores is such an incredible little, to me, a village. Might be called a little town in Portugal. But Mogafores on the railway line, on the Linha do Norte, and it's so much charm and character. A bar there where you can hang out with Portuguese locals, and so they are connecting themselves, Campo Largo with Mogafores, and what a brilliant name that is, Mogafores. But look, if you come to the wine tourism here at Campo Largo, excuse me, I'm just going to mute my microphone. Dear oh dear, told you I was poorly. If you look on the screen here, this is the luxury you can stay in at Campo Largo. This is, as well as producing wine, they have this beautiful looking hotel where you can stay and enjoy the whole experience. Look, going back to Ovos Molas from last week, there is a beautiful little couple of glasses of red and some Ovos Molas to go with. I'm not sure about that pairing, but you've got to try, obviously, when you're in this part of the country, you've got to try some Ovos Molas in the Aveiro district. Look at that. Look, wouldn't that be so sweet for your breakfast when you go down in the morning and have that little spread there? I'm loving this place. Really keen attention to detail, absolutely beautiful. And one of their formal rooms there. I mean, is this where you get to hang out if you go for a night at Campo Largo? It's absolutely beautiful. Lovely, beautiful rooms. beautiful rooms, incredible place, absolutely lovely. And yeah, I'm loving this. I don't want to show you too many pictures of bedrooms, but then look at that. I mean, that 4-poster. This makes for a very special weekend. And I'm sure some of you are thinking, I had no idea. This is what you can enjoy in Portugal, folks. There are so many diverse and wonderful things to enjoy in Portugal. And here is another experience, another level, you might say, of what's to be enjoyed in Portugal up here in the Bairrada region. Love that. Let me just see if I can go back to a few more pictures from their gallery. I think that might be it. But who we are is Quem Somos, the wine grower, Grandfather Martinho, a farmer from Moga Forest, produced red wine, and being one of the rare winemakers who separated white grapes from reds, made a beautiful and famous white wine. Both were sold in bulk to business houses in the region that bottled it. So there you go. Having died in the late 60s of the last century, our father Manuel then took over the entire farm, whose vineyards modernized and expanded, but stopped producing wine for the market. In the mid-90s, we started winemaking trials with the various varieties planted in the meantime, many of which were for the first time in the region. So wine innovators here, Campo Largo. The decision was then made to start winemaking for the market and to build a new winery. And that they have done, folks. The first wines of the Campo Largo brand were those from 2000 harvest, and the new cellar was only built in 2004. What an amazing story. I had no idea. And here are some of the folks from the past. I'm not sure if that's Martinho or Manuel, and some lovely pics of the family getting going, producing again, as they say there, in 2000. I love this landscape. I really do. There's the beautiful long shot of Campo Largo, built fairly recently. Absolutely wonderful. Yes, as I say, let us know if you want to join me and Frank for a little tour of the Bairrada. I think we're going to have so much fun. Could get messy, as I think Gary said. Back to your comments to finish off with this morning then. And where were we? Cindy Green. Hiya, Cindy. We're moving to Portugal in September. This show is helping us get ready. Well, I'm glad to be of service. And you should let me know exactly what you want to hear about, Cindy. Inform the content. I'm here every morning. Delighted to be at your service, and yeah, shape the show with some of the things you want to know about. In the evenings, we dive into a little bit more detail. I mean, I think in the morning, really, we're about serving, predominantly the people who already live here. A little bit of a morning show for us expats, but obviously you see a few Portuguese people here as well who just want to enjoy their life and celebrate life in Portugal. And in the evening, we have our webinars, Portugal Calling. All the legalities of coming to Portugal, and we talk to people. Obviously at 10 o'clock at night, it's well placed to talk to people transatlantic. So it's a lot of the mechanics of moving here in the evening show. So join me for those as well. And they're all available on our YouTube channel. And listen again on Facebook. But good luck with your journey and your plans, Cindy. Do let me know what you want to know. Me and the bro could hardly move this morning, silly old giffers. And I'm in the same condition, Gary, after a day of intense DIY. In the garden yesterday. I overdid it, and I was just being a typical bloke about it. Push on, this isn't working. I was getting the frustration and the swearing and all that. The plan I had didn't work, and I just had to pull something out of the bag with 2 hours to go as the sun was dropping in the sky, and I did it. But I wore myself out, basically. It sounds like you two have as well. I don't know what your remedies are this morning. Hey, look at this. Alt 0231 will give you the cedilla on an English keyboard. Just hold down the Alt key and type 0231 and the cedilla will appear. Cedilla will appear. That's great, Thane. Thank you for that. We're learning so much this morning. Gareth, good morning to you. I haven't seen you for a while. Venda do Esperança is a village just next to where I live. Lots of hope here. Absolutely lovely to hear that. Well, it's beautiful, isn't it, when little villages are called Hope? I remember one in there's the Hope Valley, isn't there, in the Peak District? And honestly, Lisbon's transport is fabulous. Public transport at the price of €40 a month on your travel pass. Can go on any train, ferry, and bus. Fabulous. Agreed, Anna Lucy. The first thing when I lived in Lisbon, I got myself one of those travel cards. Just charge it up, go anywhere you like, as you say there. And the ferries as well across the water. Absolutely brilliant. Even the lift in Lisbon, the Elevador de Santa Justa. You can use your pass in there as well. Fantastic. Gianni, an encounter. Ooh, that sounds good, doesn't it? The farm of encounters. We must go back to the Quinta do Encontro. It's like a brief encounter, isn't it? I can hold, thank you for that, Jenny. I can hold the button and get the additional buttons on my tablet. I think on PC you can highlight the accents with a right click. Very good. We're learning. And you need to know that, folks. I mean, even my Hola Bon Dia or Hola, my Hola Americas show, I got myself into so much trouble trying to find the right title for that. Yeah, Hola has an accent on the A, everybody, and we need to get into the habit of doing that. So there you go. That's how you can do it. From Thane, from Gareth, a few people teaching us how to do that. You IT experts. So let's leave it there this morning. Thank you for such a nice, leisurely, relaxed atmosphere. I was in no shape to do a very dynamic, exciting show, I'll be honest with you, this morning. So thank you for being gentle with me. Thank you for telling me what you've been up to this weekend. Thanks for checking in and all your wonderful comments. Really appreciate it. And this lovely sense of community we have here, and the idea that we are helping people prepare themselves for life in Portugal. You will not be disappointed, folks. You won't. And join me tonight when I talk to Julian about car-free life in Lisbon. And for the rest of the week, shows every morning and every evening. And I look forward to your company again. Have a great day. Muito bom dia, as Graça said to us earlier on. Braços, beijinhos. Take care. Bye for now. Até já, até já.